Normally in a mainstream Bollywood movie, there are multiple plots going on. This movie did not have multiple plots
Correct.
in first place, but also the
Actually, it had multiple plots. He's used cricket, which is that one plot of cricket going on. It has the main lead, who's lost his wife, who's come back to rediscover himself, and he rediscovers himself with another person egging him on, which is Nargis's character, and then rediscovery via the children, because he's attached to children, and he explains later on that I lost my children to something like that, and still he's chosen the non-violent route. Like he's chosen that way, and he's embraced the sport. Sanjay Dutt's character, and he's done, I think, really remarkably beautifully. I think.
I
And
think so too. I think if I were to define one of top 5 or 10 movies for Sanjay Dutt, this would of course be one of them.
oh
And
yeah,
Mr. Malik and of course Puneet, whoever wants to answer this, uh, what made you create such a portrayal where the ending was so non-definite? I mean, the ending is open-ended. Does that mean that you're planning a sequel, or does that mean that you want to leave that story of horror untold, and because it's still going on?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, adding to another angle and why I reached to the climax, because I thought over it for a long, long time that what could be the climax.
Hmm.
A lot of people said, "Arey, why Baz had to die when this is a film about hope?" So Baz could die so others could live. I think it's very crazy, but I think he won in many ways. He ended the evil by giving his own life, you know. But coming back to the earlier question, because that also has a connection to this one. See, I have a point of view when we talk about any country who has seen war over 40 years. Why I'm not justifying anyone who's doing that today, or in any way, or using children, or using any human bombs, or using himself. But at the same time, justifying, say, suppose for Rahul's character. See, when you have seen so much, I mean, he was not born like that. No child is born like that. It's that when the surroundings change, there are certain beliefs which begins to erupt in your head. You begins to start believing. You feel, okay, we've been pushed to the against the wall, so I will take revenge. So maybe a certain tribe in certain countries felt this way, that this is the only way out, or this is the only burst that we need to explode and tell the world, hello, hear us, maybe this is our voice. So that was their perspective then, in the past, probably in the present. And I knew when I hear day before yesterday or 2 days back, again a suicide bomb in Afghanistan, in Kabul, and so many people died. I'm saying, see, eventually worldwide people need to understand, especially Indians. I think we also have a habit. Arey, this has happened to their house. Arey, there no something like this has happened. Corona is happening there. They don't realize it can reach you as well. 9/11 was happening in America, but 26/11 happened here. So I'm saying, we got to believe there are belief system. I mean, we need to be dealing so many worldwide, so many places, like the militants turned. Actually, they were turned to become, given a chance to become rebels, were given a chance to become an army. So I'm just saying, it's the perspective, it's the hope, it's the way. So I'm just saying, with my folded hands to the world, I we can't change the past. I cannot change the present, because there's so much of preconceived notions. There's so much in their head. I mean, like Rahul going Kazar, probably, who was maybe once upon a time living or someone. They had so much in them. They wanted to showcase that in the world, and most likely and definitely they went wrong, because in the end, your generation definitely need to have a voice, and they definitely, their words need to come closer to our world, so we understand them, we hear them. So that is why information message has been weaved in with lot of entertainment here. So I didn't see Rahul Dev as a villain. I didn't see Sanjay Dutt as a protagonist. I didn't see children as, like, Baz. Even in the film you see Baz and Gulabuddin. So Gulabuddin was a child of, his father was a police officer who was killed by militants. So he said, I will grow up and become, become a cop and I'll kill Taliban. And Baz's parents is no, our family was killed by the army and this thing, so I'll become Taliban and I'll kill you. So imagine the conflict. So the children need to understand how they come together. What? One game of cricket, one game of hope. So they had to be one team, like the two different tribes, be it Hazara, be it Pashto, they all come together. So I think it's about togetherness. That's why I think the film about terrorism needs to be dealt with certain kind of dignity and elegance. And in terms of like, also let's talk about. I am very inspired from one another film. I must say, Charles Wilson War. I don't know. I have read the book. I have been raving about the performance of Tom Hanks, but there was one statement: a country being used so much, if you do not, do any reforms, you're sitting on an atom bomb, and it has proved. And he was a real congressman who spoke this.
Absolutely.
What a story it was. I think those stories stayed in my head like kite runner, stayed in my head. So I wanted to create, and unfortunately, I understand Pashtun is not my first language. But like I want to tell the story to my country men that okay, here is the story, but it's like from an Indian perspective also we can connect the two dots. So that's how I began and worked on this film.
So, is it a disappointment that you weren't able to release in theaters?
I don't think so.
You think this is Netflix?
I don't think so. Because probably if you ask Girish, he will say yes. But I would say that probably in the current circumstances, everybody in the world will agree to this. This is the best thing it could have happened to us. A release on Netflix in 192 countries with 31 languages, reaching out to the whole world, where probably in the theater people would have not even gone into the theaters. So I think this is the best thing which could have happened to us. I mean, today the whole world, probably as we speak, from the day first, Bangladesh, Oman, Pakistan, and India have been on the number one slot. And 20 countries it's been in top 10. And we have gone up to about 8th in the world. So I think it couldn't have happened if it would have been just the theatrical release. So that way, I think it's one of the best things it could have happened.
So, do you think this is a model that's going to stay for some time?
I
You're
absolutely
going to
yes.
continue with the model that, for example, even when things get back to normal and the vaccination works and we don't have any more strains of the
No,
pandemic.
definitely not. You see, again, currently the scenario is where we've outrightly given it to Netflix. But there could be scenarios you still have Netflix on board and you still have theatrical release. So when things get back to normal, of course, the visual delight you get only on the big screen. So that way, I would say that when the things get back to normal, you will still have a Netflix or an OTT release and you will still have a theatrical release.
Something like what Wonder Woman just did. They released it in theaters and then they gave it to HBO
Yes.
Max, where you're paying a good amount of money. For example, if we have to watch a movie right now, that's a new movie on even Amazon or Netflix. Actually, not Netflix because everything is part of the subscription with Amazon. They have a preview division where you pay $6-7.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I think you think
Yes.
that's a model that might.
That's a model, and that kind of more portals are coming up now where you can they pre-sell and probably you can just watch it probably the first day, second day, so those new portals are coming with these kind of concepts as well.
And you think your numbers will not be. This is a viable model, and movies will still be created with this model. This is not.
Yes,
not-
for sure. Yes.
That's great to know because not a lot of filmmakers are happy about theaters being shut down.
I have a very
Being any
strange,
part of it. Yeah, sure.
I have a very strange answer to this. It's just happened twice. In my last film during Jal, where my film was released, and I was just having a conversation. We were just coming back from Kutch to Ahmedabad, me and Mukul, his Rahul's brother. So I just, by chance, I told him, "Yeah, I feel, there's so much of pain that goes into it, and making a film, you do too much of. See, if we writers don't write, nobody has anything to direct or produce or criticize or say yes or no. But so much of things have been done, and then you have a film to place, and we've gone and shot in 50 plus. So now my whole thing was that how in India, even if you become a big hit, you're a hit, and it's like a marriage for 7 days. You're like, everybody say, oh, great film, we saw it in cinema, and not so many people have gone to cinema. Either the piracy or something else has taken place. and and your matter journey ends. I wanted to make film that which we can celebrate at least for a year. I mean, if we work for 2-3 years, let's celebrate for a year. So he said, Faji, that's not going to be possible. Girish, this is, I know, but for what happened for us? My film goes to Korea. We were discovered in Korea. Jal was discovered in South Korea in Busan, like one of the largest and the biggest festival in the world. And like, where Wang Kar-wai and biggest of the Tarantino, like, are jury members. So suddenly you discover there, you go to Cannes, you go to International Panorama, you go to, National Awards, and suddenly your script is picked up for all. So you celebrate it, like, and then we release in India. So I almost celebrated in now a second time. We thought I've made a very extensive, very good-looking film, very big film. I mean, thanks to my cameraman Viru and my other camera team from different part of the world who were also part of the film. And I'm saying, but eventually, when we thought like we wanted to have, it's a great experience that I wanted to have a cinema. But like, if this film, okay, is seen by 7 days and the other actors film come and the third one comes and you're dead. And then, okay, acha, wo film was released, now it has come to OTT. Whereas I think we can celebrate, we are talking on the 14th day or the 13th day of the film, and probably will keep talking for another 1 month, 2 months, and probably will still be celebrated. I think that's a bigger gift to me for a film that you made with so much of hardship.
So, having said that, well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here and talking to us about the movie. We hope that this movie is translated, transcribed, and dubbed into many other languages so that a greater audience can watch it too. And look forward to more from you, all of you. Good luck with the movie. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Viral. Thanks for having us. Bye.